She erased us from her wedding. So I'm erasing her from mine, based on a true story. She erased us from her wedding. Not a single photo, not a second of video. Just wiped us from the entire day like we never existed. So I decided, fine. If I'm invisible to her, she'll be invisible to me. And now, with my wedding around the corner, I've planned something she'll never see coming. Let me back up. My name's Cassie. I'm 30, and I'm the middle child of 3. My older brother, Matt, got married last year to a woman named Danielle. From the beginning, she was a lot. Type A, intense, Pinterest perfect vibes with a dash of condescension. You know the type. The wedding itself was a spectacle. Custom color schemes, dress codes for guests, pre-approved nail polish shades for bridesmaids. It was the Super Bowl of micromanagement. Still, we smiled. We played along. We wore the dusty rose dresses and champagne ties. People flew in from 3 different states to support them. The night before the wedding, we were all gathered at the rehearsal dinner when Danielle made an offhanded remark that hit like a slap. She looked around the room, gave a tight smile, and said, "Well, at least some of us showed up on time." I wasn't really expecting Matt's side to be that organized. No offense. The table went quiet. She followed it with a laugh, the kind that's supposed to make something okay but somehow makes it worse. "Just kidding," she chirped. But no one was laughing. My mom's smile faltered. My little sister stared at her plate. And I just sat there, cheeks burning, forcing myself not to react. The next day, we did what we always do. We showed up. We smiled for photos. We helped wrangle flower girls and fix crooked ties. I even helped repin corsages when hers started slipping during the bridal party portraits. So imagine our shock when the wedding photos came out, and we weren't in them. Not a single one. Danielle posted albums, reels, story highlights, videos, behind-the-scenes footage. "The most perfect day with the most perfect people," she wrote. But apparently, perfect didn't include us. At first, I thought it was an oversight. Maybe she just hadn't posted the full set yet. Maybe we were in the private album. So I texted her, cordially, no sarcasm, no passive aggression. I asked if she could send over any of the group shots with just the siblings. I figured we could print one for our parents' anniversary. Her reply? "We never took those pictures." I blinked at my screen, stunned. What? I remembered clearly standing in the sun, my shoes digging into the grass while Matt asked us to help adjust corsages. I remember the photographer lining us up. Me, Matt, our little sister Talia, and joking that we looked like the 3 Stooges. And she was telling me those pictures didn't exist? I didn't even argue. I let it go. I figured she was overwhelmed. Maybe she didn't like how she looked in them. Who knows? 6 months passed. Then my mom mentioned again how sad it was not to have any photos of all 3 of us from the wedding. So I tried again. I sent Danielle a short message, even softer this time. "Hey, just checking again if you ever came across those sibling pics. No worries if not." Her reply? Pics of what? Like the entire conversation had never happened. I scrolled back, checked the thread. I wasn't imagining it. She was gaslighting me. That was the moment something in me flipped. It wasn't just about pictures. It was about erasure. Danielle didn't just ignore us. She'd rewritten the narrative. In her version of that day, we weren't even there. We were background noise. Decorative filler. The other side of the family she had to tolerate to get to her big moment. I was done tolerating her. So when I got engaged 3 months later, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted a beautiful wedding. I wanted my family to feel seen. And I wanted Danielle to feel like the star, just long enough to believe she mattered. Then, I'd cut her out completely. Danielle wasn't originally invited. That was intentional. I knew if I sent the invite, she'd find a way to center herself in the room, like she always did. I just wanted one day where it wasn't about her. But word gets around. At a family dinner, she cornered me while I was loading up a plate. "Cassie," she said, putting on that sickly sweet smile, "I might be able to make the wedding after all. I have work the day before and after, but I think I can squeeze it in. I blinked. She hadn't even been invited. But she said it so confidently, so entitled, like my wedding was just another pit stop in her busy life. I was so caught off guard, I just muttered, "That's fine. The Airbnb is booked whether you're there or not." She beamed. "Perfect." Later that night, I did something petty. I spelled her name wrong on the official wedding invite, switched 2 letters, just enough to be noticeable. I knew she'd clock it. And sure enough, she did. She sent a text to my brother Matt. "LOL, tell Cassie thanks for the invite, even if she doesn't know how to spell my name." I didn't reply, because I had something better planned. I hired an amazing videographer. Not one of those artsy types who fade the background into pastel blurs. No, I wanted someone sharp, observant, someone who could make people feel like they were watching a movie. And I gave him one extra instruction. Danielle's the star. He looked confused at first, but then I explained. Everywhere she goes, you go. Get her smiling, get her dancing, get her hugging the flower girl, make it feel like she's the centerpiece, track her like she's the bride. He nodded slowly. And the final cut? I smiled. Not a single second of her. He blinked. You want her shadowed all night? Just to cut her out? Exactly. He laughed. I've done worse. The day of the wedding arrived, and I was surprisingly calm. I'd expected to be anxious, frazzled, but I wasn't. I was grounded. I knew who I was marrying, I knew who had my back, and I knew exactly how I wanted this day to feel. Danielle arrived halfway through the welcome brunch, wearing a pastel dress that almost, but not quite, matched the theme. It was just off enough to feel intentional. She air-kissed relatives, complimented strangers, and immediately asked where the photographer was. My videographer gave me a subtle nod. Target locked. I watched as he followed her through the courtyard. Whenever she turned her head to sip her mimosa, he shifted. Whenever she stood near a group laughing, he zoomed. I could see her glowing from the attention. She thought she was being adored. She posed extra hard during the family pictures. I made sure we took dozens of photos, always with her tucked at the edge, never centered. I could practically see her inching closer each time, trying to be in the middle. I kept my cool, smiled, hugged her, even complimented her shoes. I wanted her relaxed, comfortable. She gave a toast during the rehearsal dinner. No one asked her to, but she did it anyway. Talked about how love is compromise and not letting the little things ruin the big picture. I nearly choked on my wine. On the wedding day, she wore white. It wasn't a bridal white. It was ivory, maybe off-white. But it was close enough that heads turned. I said nothing. I had predicted this too. We had a backup outfit for my flower girl just in case she accidentally spilled juice on her. We had extra place cards printed in the right spelling for every guest, except hers. At the reception, she danced the hardest, sang the loudest, tried to pull focus at every opportunity. And through it all, the videographer danced along with her, until he didn't. 3 weeks after the wedding, the highlight video was finished. We hosted a little post-wedding dinner with just close friends and immediate family. Everyone gathered around the big screen in our living room, glasses of wine in hand, ready to relive the day. Danielle was there, of course. She'd been unusually quiet since the wedding, likely exhausted from all the effort she'd put into her own personal performance. As the video began, I watched her face. The first few frames rolled. Laughter, glasses clinking, vows under string lights. She leaned in, expecting to see herself, but she didn't. Scene after scene played, bridesmaids helping me into my dress, my dad choking up as he walked me down the aisle, my husband and I whispering during our first dance. But not her, not even in the background. She shifted in her seat. Then came the party scenes. Cousins doing shots, friends dancing like lunatics, kids twirling napkins in the air. Still no Danielle. I sipped my wine and waited. And then, fade to black. The end. A few polite claps, some teary eyes. My mom dabbed at her nose. So beautiful, she whispered. I turned to Danielle. Her smile was frozen. Tight. Hollow. Great video, she said after a long pause. Really well done. She never brought it up again. But a week later, she deleted every wedding post she'd made. Took down all the reels, all the story highlights, even the profile picture that had been her and Matt at the altar. She made up some excuse about starting fresh for the new year. Sure, Matt knows. He'll never admit it, but he knows. We're closer now than we were back then. He saw what she did. He just didn't have the words for it. And honestly, he's probably still trying to survive being married to her. I didn't do what I did out of spite. I did it because it mattered. Because our side of the family showed up. We loved, we supported, we were there, and we deserved to be remembered. Danielle erased us. So I returned the favor. And if that makes me petty, so be it. At least this time, we took the pictures.